Picture this. It's a beautiful summer day in Brazil, 2014. The World Cup is in full swing, and football fans around the globe are glued to their screens. Uruguay is facing off against Italy in a crucial match. The tension is palpable. And then out of nowhere, it happens again. Luis Suárez, one of the most talented strikers in the world, inexplicably sinks his teeth into Italian defender Giorgio Chiellini's shoulder. Shocking? Absolutely. Unprecedented? Not even close. The Cannibal of Ajax. Let's rewind the clock to 2010. Suárez is playing for Ajax in the Dutch Eredivisie. He's already making waves as a prolific goal scorer, but on November 20th he decides to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. During a match against PSV Eindhoven, Suárez gets into a tussle with midfielder Otman Bakkal. Instead of settling it like a normal person, with a shove or a strongly worded insult, Suárez goes full vampire. He chomps down on Bakkal's shoulder like it's a juicy steak. The ref misses it, shocker. But the cameras don't lie. The footage goes viral and suddenly Suárez is known as the Cannibal of Ajax. Real classy nickname, right? The punishment? A 7-game ban and a fine. You'd think that'd be enough to teach a guy not to use his teeth as a weapon, wouldn't you? Oh, how wrong you'd be. The bite heard round Anfield. Fast forward to 2013, Suárez has moved to Liverpool, where he's busy cementing his reputation as one of the Premier League's deadliest strikers. But old habits die hard, folks. On April 21st, during a heated match against Chelsea, Suárez finds himself in a tussle with defender Branislav Ivanovic. Now, Ivanovic is built like a brick wall. Most players would think twice about picking a fight with him. But Suárez? He goes straight for the arm, with his teeth. Once again, the ref misses it. Seriously, do these guys need glasses or what? But the cameras catch everything. Ivanovic is left with a lovely set of tooth marks on his arm. And Suárez, well, he's left with egg on his face. And a 10-game ban. You'd think this would be the wake-up call, right? The moment when Suárez says, you know what, maybe biting people isn't such a great idea after all. But nope, our boy Luis was just getting started. World Cup chomp. Which brings us back to that fateful day in Brazil 2014. The stakes are high, Uruguay needs a win to advance in the World Cup. The match against Italy is tense, physical, and frustrating for Suárez. So what does he do? You guessed it. He takes a bite out of Giorgio Chiellini's shoulder. This time the whole world is watching. The incident is replayed in slow motion from every angle. There's no denying it. Luis Suárez, one of the most talented footballers of his generation, has bitten an opponent again. The aftermath is a circus. Suárez tries to play it cool, clutching his teeth like he's the victim. Chiellini is furious, trying to show the ref the bite marks. Uruguay's coach? He claims he didn't see anything. Sure, buddy, and I'm the king of England. But here's the kicker. Suárez actually tries to claim that Chiellini ran into his teeth. I kid you not. In a post-match interview, he says, "These are just things that happen out on the pitch. It was just the two of us inside the area and he bumped into me with his shoulder." Right, Luis. And I suppose the tooth fairy left those marks on Chiellini's shoulder. The fallout. This time, FIFA wasn't messing around. They slapped Suárez with a 9-game international ban, a 4-month ban from all football-related activities, and a hefty fine. It was the biggest punishment ever handed out at a World Cup for an on-field incident. Was it enough? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? On one hand, it was a significant punishment. 4 months is a long time in football. Suárez missed the rest of the World Cup, the start of the domestic season, and a chunk of Uruguay's Copa America campaign. But on the other hand, this was his third biting incident. Third! How many chances does a guy get before we say enough is enough? Some argued for a lifetime ban. Others said the punishment was too harsh. It's a debate that still rages on in pubs and living rooms whenever Suárez's name comes up. The bigger picture. Right, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. I mean, what the hell is going on in Suárez's mind? Why would a bloke who's living the dream, playing footy for a living and earning more in a week than I do in a year, suddenly think, you know what, I fancy a nibble on that defender's arm? A sports psychologist, Dr. What's-His-Name Fawcett, told that it was a primitive response and that Suárez was doing it on impulse. But let's be real for a sec. Most of us manage to get through a bad day at work without sinking our teeth into Dave from accounting, don't we? Truth is, we'll probably never know what goes on in Suárez's noggin, but one thing's for sure, it's cost him. Big time. The cost of chomping. Let's tally up the damage, shall we? 7-game ban for the buckle bite, 10-game ban for the Ivanovic bite, 9-game international ban, 4-month total football ban, and a 100,000 Swiss franc fine for the Chiellini bite. That's a total of 26 games missed, plus 4 months of not being able to step foot in a stadium. Oh, and let's not forget the damage to his reputation. Suárez went from being known as one of the world's best strikers to being football's most infamous biter. It affected his club career too. Well, in a positive way for Barcelona and in a negative way for Liverpool. After the Chiellini incident, Liverpool decided they'd had enough. They sold him to Barcelona, washing their hands of the whole messy business, but Liverpool would have gotten way more than the £65 million they got for him had it not been for his mischievous past. The rehabilitation of Luis Suárez. Credit where it's due, though. Since that World Cup debacle in 2014, he's kept his teeth to himself. On the pitch, at least. No word on what he does at team barbecues. At Barca, he was part of that ridiculous attacking trio with Messi and Neymar. You know, the one that made defenders wake up in cold sweats. But those biting incidents, they'll always be there. Lurking in the background like that embarrassing photo of you at the office Christmas party. No matter how many goals he scores, for a lot of people, Suárez will always be football's Hannibal Lecter. The bigger question. Suárez's chomping spree raises some pretty big questions. Like, how many chances do you give someone before you say, right, you're done, mate? Is there a point to where the punishment needs to go from a slap on the wrist to a boot up the backside? And what about the head stuff? Should clubs be doing more to make sure their players don't go off the deep end? Could a bit of therapy have stopped Suárez from treating the pitch like an all-you-can-eat buffet? Then there's the whole role model thing. What kind of message does it send when a player can go around nibbling on opponents and still end up with more medals than a war hero? The legacy of the bites. As Suárez's career winds down, it's clear these incidents are gonna stick to him like a bad smell. Every time someone mentions his name, you can bet your last quid that the biting will come up. And you know what? Maybe that's fair enough. Football's not just about what happens between kickoff and the final whistle. It's about not being a total idiot too. Suárez's story is a bit like those don't drink and drive ads. A reminder that no matter how good you are, you're not above the rules, and that actions have consequences, even if you can curl a free kick into the top corner from 30 yards. At the end of the day, Suárez's legacy is complicated. He's a world-class striker with a world-class problem, a footballing genius with a taste for the bizarre. He's proof that talent isn't everything. Sometimes you need to keep your mouth shut too. Literally. The final whistle. So there you have it, folks. The bizarre, almost unbelievable story of Luis Suárez and his 3 biting incidents. It's a tale that has everything: drama, controversy, redemption, and a whole lot of dental work. Next time you're watching a match and things get heated, spare a thought for old Luis. Remember that no matter how frustrated you get, keeping your teeth to yourself is always the best policy. And if you ever find yourself face to face with Suárez on the pitch, maybe wear a mouthguard. Just in case.